Hello, so today we are going to continue on this Leetcode 30-day challenge. Today's problem is move zeros. So the problem says we have an array of numbers and want to write a function to move all zeros to the end of the array while maintaining the relative order of the non-zero elements. So this array here, we need to move all zeros. So basically this zero and this one need to be at the end. But the most important thing is that these need to remain in the same order. And we have to do it in place without making a copy of the array, and we need to minimize the total number of operation. Okay. So let's see. So we can definitely just go through the array once and count the number of zeros, right? And then whenever there is a zero, we can put it in the right place, right? So for example, when we encounter 1, we could put it here. But that may end up being like, I'm afraid that may not be open, right? Oh, okay, so first let's just try a brute force solution that may not be in like of one extra space. So let's use the extra space for now, and from there we could try to improve that. So if I just initialize an array here with just 0 values, what I will be doing is any number in the list of numbers that is different than 0, I will add to the array at the beginning. And then what's left would be already initialized with 0, right? And that would be what has value 0 in numbers, right? So we could just go through the array like this. And then we need a starting index for res. And then we check if the number is different than 0. We add it there. And we increase I. And then here at the end, we need to put the result of res in numbers, because the problem says we need to modify the array itself. It won't check the return value, it will just check the original array. And so let's run this. Okay, so that does look good, but we need to not use this extra space here. So let's see what we know. We need a pointer here for the values that are not equal to 0, right? So what if we just get rid of this and say last non-zero, right? And this would be like this. And what we do here is, if the number is different than 0, then we could just say nums we will assign num to be there, right? And then let's see what this would give us for now. Okay, so you can see here it worked for the elements that are different than 0. Now we just need to make it work for those equal to 0. So once we exit here, we can just say while this here is smaller than the number of the length of the array, we can just make these values be 0, right? Because those are the values that we didn't find that they are equal to 0, that they are different than 0. So we'll just say nums equal to 0, and then we'll just increment this. Don't need this anymore. Okay, so that looks good here. Let's try. Okay, so that's accepted. Yeah. So the main idea here was to just go from the none of, like, using extra space to solve it, and then from there we could just see what we need to do to make it use constant space. Let's see how other people solved this. Yeah, this makes sense. Like anything equal to 0, just delete it, and then from there you would have only the values that are not equal to 0 remaining, and then you need to fill the array, the rest of the array with 0 values. Basically, count the ones that we removed and then put them at the end, put them back at the end. That does make sense. Let's see here. So have an index, 2 indices here. Okay, so this is the element itself, and this is the last non-zero, right? Oh, I see. So another way to do this and avoid my while loop here is, if we have this, we could just swap so that we could put the 0 value at the end, right? So here we would be swapping the element at the current position with the one in the non-last 0 position. So what that would be is, we could just say we would need I here, so, and then we need to enumerate, and then from there we can replace this, just swap them essentially, and swap that with this, and then we increment that, and that way we don't need to do this. Okay, it's like, seems to work. Yep, so that worked. Yep, this is similar to my solution. Let's see here. Okay, this is the one with the swap case. Yeah, okay, so I think this seems like a good solution. Yeah.